Hello everybody, been a bit of a delay in my update. Been a long journey, still is. Welcome to Bedroom Guru if you haven't been here before. I'd like to thank you and welcome to all of the new subscribers. Thank you for coming along. I thought I'd better put a conclusion on everything that's taken place recently with this heartbreak. Um, it's been very difficult, and it's very much like when you have a heartbreak, it's very much like anything, it's like any loss. So you go through a grieving procedure, you go through grieving stages. So I've sat here and done a lot of work on myself, and the reason why I'm gonna just add what I've been doing the last week is just to try and help other people, because I think the older me would have most probably have chucked a duvet over my head and gone into a deep depression and questioned why me and all the rest of it, and not been able to get out of it. But I've done every single spiritual practice I possibly can to get me to a stage of acceptance and moving on. So it's very much a crash course in what can be a very long process, grieving. And I've sat and worked in my soul journal a lot, which is, as everybody will know, is gold. You know, having your own soul journal is just everything. As I've said before, you record everything that you perhaps get in meditations, in dreams, your feelings. Last night I wrote for about 2.5 hours, including invoking archangels, but I'll go into that a bit in a minute. But yeah, grieving. I think I looked at the stages last night as well. So first you're in denial. So I was in denial that it was all a reality of what had happened. I was in denial that he had obviously turned his attentions to 3 different women. And I was in a nostalgic and rose-tinted romantic view of him running back here saying, "I'm so sorry, let me give you everything." So the denial was there for a long time. I didn't want it to be true. I didn't want it to be real. But it is, and it's as simple as that. Lots of justice has been served. Lots of truths have been told to the various people responsible. And the victims, we've united. So that's the beauty of what's happened. You then go into the guilt. And the guilt for me was, did I do it to myself? Did I purposely not look at the signs or the red flags that came up? What did I do wrong? And so you start looking at feeling guilty that you didn't actually do things that you thought you should have at the time. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But at the end of the day, you can't analyse things. You can't send this back on yourself. You've got to look at the bigger picture and see what comes out the other end of it, you know. Obviously, the anger was absolutely huge. I became a monster. I was so desperately angry, it was ridiculous. And I basically hit out. I was somebody that I haven't been for many, many, many years. I was vociferous, I was spiteful, I wanted to send every hateful thing I could to him. So there was the anger stage. Then there was the bargaining, where I was like thinking to myself, right, you know, if I stay strong, then he's going to change and he'll come back. And it was just ridiculous bargaining. And you'll find that if you look back and look at when you go through these various stages of grieving, you'll realise how much of an illogical process it is, because really you've got to look at the bare facts, you know, the prima facie evidence, which is there staring in your face. But you try and find every other way to not make it true, and that takes you back to denial again. So, you know, it's a very, very hard process to work through. Acceptance, no, I'm not there. Sadness, I'm still there. But I'll just give you a few tips on what I've done, and also the fact that I'm surrounded by the most amazing people. My beautiful friend Annie Lloyd, who I subsequently met. I think I've mentioned this before. There's a special group of ladies that I absolutely adore and love. And we met each other via a Facebook forum for fibromyalgia and ME and chronic illness sufferers, and there's a special bond between the two of us, between all of us, I mean. And it's not just like you know, we're talking to each other every day and in each other's pockets, but we're always there when we need each other, and suddenly, you know, we'll turn up at the right point to help each other. It's just an incredible bond of these ladies, and we're from all over the world. It's just absolutely beautiful. and Annie sent me something which I've actually got in my vaporizer. I don't know if I'm supposed to put it in there, but that's billowing out at the moment. I've got an amethyst crystal lit over in the corner. You can mostly hear there's some healing music going on. That's Zen Sounds from Alexa. And there's a, oh, she's just started talking. She just stopped, I mean. And basically, I choose healing so that I've got that going on in the background. Still in my PJs. So I'm really tired today because obviously it's taken a lot out of me. So anyway, Annie sent me violet oil, and I don't know anything about sacred oils, but now it's another part of my toolkit, if you like. It's another part of my itinerary that I'm going to learn about so I can help you with it. So inadvertently, the kindness and the beauty of the people around me are also helping me to learn things as well. Violet oil is to help you deal with really bad grief. I know that this isn't compared to anything like loss, someone that's passed over, but it's still a grief that you have to acknowledge and deal with and master. And you put it on your heart chakra and you do a meditation that connects with it. There's also a book called Sacred Oils that she sent me. God bless her beautiful heart. And obviously at the moment I'm using the violet oil on my heart chakra, but there are all different types of oils for all different things that you want to cope with on the earth life. And so I will be imparting my knowledge as I study and learn it, because obviously it's been brought to my attention for a reason, and that is that I learn from it, I embrace it with honour from my friend, but then I'll push it on to other people that may need help and may need something else apart from trying to get through every day. Do you know what I mean? I literally will embrace anything to help me. That's the difference, I think. When things happen to us, you need to rise. You need to push forward and find a way out. By wallowing in it and allowing yourself to be in the energy is not good. And I have had days where, do you know, if like a certain song comes on, or there's a certain memory, or you drive past somewhere that used to be with that person, even if it was only like 3 weeks ago, I went past a place and we were only there 3 weeks ago, and it was just like it hits you, and the reality hits you of the fact that it's never going to happen again. And so I've been back and forth with that, which has brought tears, which has brought why me, which has brought why didn't he love me enough, and I started hitting back on that. So yet again, I came in, I saged myself with white sage, I invoked Michael to come and be with me to help cut the cords and give me strength to move forward. And I then took some angel cards, and guess what card out of 72 odd cards came out was Archangel Michael. So he's answered me to tell me that he's here helping me. So I've done that as well. I'm also taking a lot of time walking on the beach, embracing the power of the sea. So if you're anywhere near nature, get out there to help you relax, to connect with the strongest force out there in the universe that's tangible to us, which will be nature. And sometimes you get inspiration, or sometimes it just gives you thought processes, or sometimes you just cry your eyes out. So there is healing in nature. So I always say to you, get out there. My dogs have been amazing. They know that I'm sensitive at the moment. They're very cuddly. And they're loving it because they're being taken out to the beach rails on in. So they're loving it, bless their hearts. So I've been doing that. I've also, as I say, been writing in my soul journal every night about thoughts and feelings. Interestingly enough, I had this most random dream that I don't even know the people I was with. And I was walking along and there were all these goats lined up. And I thought, I want those. And there was like this billy goat. And I'm thinking, yeah, I want these goats. And this man, I didn't even know him, showed me these goats. And he said, which ones do you want? Just be aware of them. I'm like, okay. So when I actually Googled it in Dream Moods, which is a really good website for dream analysis, it basically was talking about you blaming yourself for other people's actions, that there's lechery and dishonesty, and that someone around you has been deceitful. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was just dreaming of cute goats. No, and it was totally relevant. And I found a lot of my dreams, when I analysed them, they are all connected to this and all showing me the truth of the situation, which is really interesting. I've tried to get closure, but I can't. So it's all about self-development, mindfulness, and trying to push away the thoughts and feelings when they come up. I'm still struggling a bit with that. And so my beautiful friend Helen, who's like, I call her my fairy godmother because she comes around it and everything she suggests or says, there's always a relevance for it. It's really weird. And she basically told me about this lovely man, and I know a lot about him. Lots of people have been talking about him. Beautiful spiritual man called Vinny, and he's been helping people to release trauma, and there's people it's changed their lives, and he's local to here, and so that inspired me. So I've spoken to him. So the reason I've done that is because I feel like sometimes I fight everything on my own, and I'm trying to deal with it on my own, because I've got so much spiritual itinerary to work on. But sometimes you do need a second soul to come in and share the experience and take you further forward. So I'm really looking forward to having a session with him, and I'll give you an update on how it works, or how it worked. He's immediately, when I spoke to him, I felt lifted, and I felt really, really excited. So I know that Helen was supposed to say that to me in synchronicity today for me to connect with this beautiful soul. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that, I'm just really proud of myself because I've done every possible thing I can to close this down as quick as possible so I can move on. Everything. And I feel like I've come on so much since I call it my previous life, before my accident, because I would have literally have perhaps gone a bit self-destructive and gone downhill, but I'm doing everything I can to empower myself and look after myself, and that's what you need to do. I've just realised that I'm playing with this. I've got a labradorite on at the moment, which I was inspired to wear. Labradorite is like a mirror stone, so any intentions from that person or their energy is just batted back. It mirrors back who they are as a person, and it protects your energy so you're not exposed to any hurt anymore. And so that's why I've got labradorite on. It's a beautiful. I don't know if you can see it properly, but it's a really look at what happens when the light hits it. It's a beautiful stone. So if you ever have got problems with anybody, or you're fighting people with ill intent, or you need to protect your energy because it's vulnerable, this stone is just amazing. And weirdly enough, I put on my tanzanite ring, which I haven't worn for years. I found it randomly, put that on, and then I thought, I might Google that, because I'm not an expert on crystals. I just know what I know, and I know what the angel realms tell me to give people and tell them what to wear. So I'm not exactly gone and done a class on it, but I've just gone by the purest teacher out there, which is the spirit world and the angel realms. And I looked up tanzanite, and it's all about motivation and it's receiving divine help, having a clear connection so they can help you through things. And it was just so apt, it's ridiculous. So all I'll say as well is, if there's anything that you get a random idea pop in your head to do it, because it's being inspired by someone up there, either someone you love, your guardian angel, or the angel realms. All of these things that will pop in your head to get you through any trauma or grief, go with it. If you suddenly get the random idea to go for a drive, do it, because there is a reason for it. So I'm completely going with the process of what the universe is showing, and what my subconscious, or what they are putting into my subconscious, of things to do. As I say, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a guru and I've got it all smashed and I'm all happy and great. I'm not. I'm still really heartbroken, but I'm acknowledging it, and I'm working with it, and I'm rising above it. I'm not sitting and wallowing in it, and the thing is that the other danger that I came into yesterday and last couple of days is, because I'm an empath, I can feel how lost this man was, and how desperate he is for acknowledgement, and how desperate he is to get attention from people. And so there was almost a danger of me wanting to help him and help him on his journey, but that wasn't for me to do. And I acknowledged it through, again, analysis in my soul journal, that it was just another way to stay connected with him. And so be aware of that as well. The problem with empaths is we see the soul, we see the core being and its potential. What we don't do is we don't look at the outer broken layers that rule consciousness, emotion, and all of the lower base chakras. And that's why I think sometimes a lot of us empaths end up with arseholes, basically. because we see the potential of them and we want to bring that out in them, but they will never do that. They will never honour who they're supposed to be because of their own emotional issues and their own personality baggage. They can't do it. So it wasn't my job to move him forward, and it's not going to be my job to help him. I've got a feeling that he most probably will have an earth experience of just being completely in self-destructive mode and very lonely person, and that saddens me. But don't get me wrong, 2 weeks ago I'll go ha ha ha, good on you, but I don't now. I just feel really sorry for a soul like that needs to wreck people and do such badness, do such ill intent, and not even have a second thought about it. Such a shame. But I'm glad I feel like that, because obviously it helps dissipate the anger. The anger is definitely gone. It's just the sadness, the melancholy now, which is completely natural. I would say that by my spiritual practices and how I'm working on myself 24/7 has sped up the grieving process immensely. It really has. So you need to obviously make sure as well that you embrace all the good people around you, and it really does make me realise now who is in my life and how incredibly important, how much I love them, because I've just received so many bits of encouragement, love. People have given their time up, people have sent me gifts, I'm just overwhelmed by that, because it just backs up the fact that I am a good person, that I am someone that just wants to help people and send love out, and then when I need it, I get it reciprocated. So for me, that's a beautiful mutual energy going on there that I have with all the people around me in my life. And again, people that I really don't even know, that I've just met via here or via Twitter or via Facebook, all the other social media sites, people that I've been speaking to for years, like virtual relationships, and even they've given up their time still now to send emails and words of encouragement and love and comfort, and I can't thank you enough for that. I cannot thank you enough for that. I really appreciate it. So my next step forward is to go and have this session with Vinny, which I'm really looking forward to, releasing trauma. And also, I've got a feeling there's another reason I'm meeting him. Perhaps we'll end up working together to help people or something. Who knows? There's always beauty that comes out of ugliness. It's the yin and yang of the universe. Where there's darkness, there's light. There's always a natural balance to everything. So you have to remember that. It is hard work, working on yourself, but I've found it quite natural. As soon as I woke up, Helen come round for a cup of tea and obviously told me about Vinny. But after that, as I say, I've lit my amethyst. I've made sure that I've got the right crystals on. I've got violet leaf. It smells gorgeous in here, I'm not going to lie. It's absolutely beautiful. I've got calming music on with binaural tones in it, just to keep my mind calm. And I would like a distraction. I'm feeling very tired today, and so I'm going to reread my manuscript on Me, Myself and I, A Diary of a Psychic, and just see if there's anything that needs changing or polishing on that. So that gives me a nice distraction. And equally, I have another book that I've written that I've mentioned here ages ago, which was Heaven Calling, like the ultimate guide to dealing with grief, accepting loss and establishing a spiritual relationship with your loved ones. And now I'm going to be implementing heartbreak as a part of grieving in that book, so I've got to work on that. So what I'm trying to say is that through all of the negatives that have taken place, I'm finding positives and I'm working on them and building them into something that can help you or help someone else. So to me, there's no negatives in that. Everything is just an absolute Brucey bonus. From what I've learned, I don't particularly want to do it again. I don't particularly want to go through this, and I hope I don't, as I will get the ump. I'm not going to lie on that either. But it's all stuff that will give me more substance to be able to say, yep, I get that. This is how I dealt with it for you, if that makes sense. It's just sometimes I just think when you're not spiritual, when you're not in a spiritual line, I've had a couple of times where I've just gone, what the hell is all this about? Do you know what I mean? And then I just think, I'll give up. I don't want lessons. I just, why don't I just go and get a job in Marks and Spencer's? Not that I could, but do you know what I mean? Why don't I just stop all this and stop bloody worrying about helping people, stop doing email reading, stop it all, it's not worth it. But I can't. There's a driving need in me. It is like needing to breathe, that I need to pass on my knowledge, my esoteric knowledge and my experiences to help people through their darkness. It's as simple as that. And I perhaps may be ending up doing motivational speaking as well at some point. I can see that coming into my energy. More so than proving the afterlife, because I've done that most of my life, proving that your loved ones are still there. And my dad was right in 2012 or 2013 when he visited me and said, you're going to be on a lot more of a deeper understanding of the universe. You're going to be working completely differently. And he's totally right, because that's what's going to happen. I'm totally working on a different energy, a different frequency. And I know that it's all to do with helping us get through our earth experiences when it gets too much. Our soul is intact. Our soul is a bright, shining beacon. However, the emotions and the experiences we have down here mark it as such an important time in our life, but it really isn't when you look at the infinite life of our soul. This is a tiny, and I've said this so many times before, and my most favourite analogy, because I love the sea, is we are literally a speck of salt in an ocean upon ocean upon ocean of relevance with this one lifetime. It is just that tiny minuscule thing, but obviously when we're down here going through it, it's real, it's painful, and it can break you. But what you've got to try and concentrate on is the fact that we are whole, we are infinite, and this is again just another experience that we chuck under our belt to either look at and learn from, or add another bit of itinerary to our toolbox, another itinerary to our life strength and power down here. So yeah, I've got quite a few new tools on my kit bag now, thanks to some beautiful kind people that have sent me things to do. Again, I've been doing meditations with Rasa. I've told you about her already, and obviously Jay Shetty, so I've been looking at him a lot. Find inspirational speakers, find people that can help you get through this. This is one of the beauties of social media. You know, go to all the professional ones where they've got it all like dancy and nice, rather than me just sitting here in my PJs talking to you. Anyway, that's my update, darlings. If there's anybody that wants to ask anything different, it'd be nice to talk about something different now, because I've got a feeling that it's only going to take a couple of weeks now for me to finally get a grip of this and to move on. It's just stopping the stupid memories that come in about, oh, we did this together and we were supposed to do that. Don't need that, don't need it. And I'm working on that, and that's what you need to do if you're going through this. So anyway, I hope this is going to inspire you. I hope it's going to help you. Google Sacred Oils, or just email me if you want to know more details about that. I'll let you know how I got on with it. All I do know is that I can smell it now. It's in the vaporizer, and it's also, I've got it on my heart chakra, and every time I get a smell of it, it's almost like I'm smelling home. It's a really weird feeling. I feel relaxed. I feel like it's a familiar smell of something safe. That's a really weird expression. So perhaps your soul recognises a frequency of that smell, the frequency of the sacred oil, and says, well, yeah, I know that one. So have a look at it, because as I say, there are all different oils for all different things. And as I say, I will, when I've continued my journey, when I'm ready, have a look at it and start working that into helping you. I might add it to my Prism Living as well, as something for you to look at. So there's lots of changes I need to make to the Prism Living online course for you with these new tools that I've gathered. And do you know what? There could be a bloody another book in this, couldn't there? I had to recover from heartbreak. Jesus. Well, hopefully there'll be no more dramas for me to write another memoir about, to be fair, because I want to get on with all the other subjects that I've got to write about. I need to move forward now, so my back's a bit sore. So, look at my eyes, like a bit of tears last night, so you know, it's to be expected. It's all healing. But yeah, so I don't want to write any memoirs, thank you very much. I want to start writing things on how to inspire you. As I say, I've got the next book after this one. I've just got to make sure I get this one out first. I've had some wonderful reviews from people that have been guinea pigs for me, and I thank you for that. So yeah, by the looks of it, from the reactions from complete tears to complete inspiration to disbelief on my book from the people that have read it. Hopefully it's going to fly off the shelves to people that will be inspired when they've found themselves in that darkness for whatever reason it may be: disability, loss, chronic illness, depression, mental health, whatever it is. They will help. This will help all of those people. So very proud of that project. I just hope I'm not going to say I hope, I know it will get out very soon, and I hope that you'll get a lot of strength from it. Anyway, my darlings, I'm going to go and repolish my book for the 6,000th time, make sure everything's right in it. And I just want to say to you, if you are suffering at the moment or you're going through grief, trauma, loss, hang on in there. Try and do some of the bits that I've been, recommending for you, because it really does help, because it gives you an element of control again. You've got no control over the situation. There's nothing you can do to change it. It's in the past or it's just happened. What you can change is how you deal with it and how you rise after the fall. So I'll leave you with that. Love to you all, and I'll speak to you again soon. God bless. Bye now.